You ready, man? I'm excited.
Let's do it.
All right. All right. Ready?
Oh yeah!
There it is.
He's trying me. How you trying me? That's a touchdown. Ooh! Fucking
Hi, and welcome to DD Live. I'm your host, Angel Camacho, and with my esteemed colleague, Jose the Perra Guerra. Hello, man.
Hey, we back, baby.
We're
We
back.
back.
We're back. Season 20, better than ever. I'm back in my setup. I want to thank Joan and his amazing staff. I get my man cave back. It's beautiful. It's better than ever. I got my setup. I feel reinvigorated. Season 20. No stress. No stress, man. No stress this season.
This season,
I
yeah,
don't
man.
I don't have the pressure. I don't have the weight on my shoulder. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
You
But
do have a little bit of pressure. Let's be honest. You do have a little bit of pressure,
you
but
think
hey,
so?
oh, I know so.
Why? Because I got picked high?
I mean that, right? And I definitely see you taking about 25% of the snaps, or being the ball, or being handed off to you.
Oh, I'm just nasty. Last time that I was a wide receiver for a team, man. Come on.
Those problems.
All right, baby. It's problems. Well, not the other one, not the season with Fredo, because then that season I only had problems and on and off the field, so I couldn't play. That was a bad season. There were so many injuries, but less about me, more about the league. Season 20. We are here. Who would have thought that we would have made it this far? I think we ask ourselves that every season.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I came in season 11, I want to say, and shoot, that was like the end of Dino times. That was like right before Armageddon.
Like you shall not pass.
Yeah.
Now everyone just like came
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
changed everything. A bunch of guys just went back 3 tiers back, which is kind of awesome for me. I broke into a tier 4 status. I never thought I'd see the day, tier 6 to tier 4. Look at me now, huh?
Hey
Cat.
man, you
Hey, I'm
drop a couple
breaking.
of
I'm
LBs.
breaking. I'm breaking news. I'm breaking news every season. No, but it's been fun. Tell us a little bit about Tiff. Tell us about her health. We know that last season, we went missing. We were very worried for her. Give us a little update.
We're good, man. We're good. Life throws you curveballs, you know, and it is what it is, but we're kicking, we're thriving, back to regular schedule program.
Phenomenal. We want nothing more. So tell me about how you feel coming into this season now that you know your team. Captain again, quarterback last season was one to forget. I think it
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah,
guys.
for sure. For sure. I
Player
mean, that was
pool's a lot different, a lot new guys.
Yeah, I mean, big time, right? It was last season was something that I don't really want to talk about much, other than it was my first time missing playoffs. If I'm not mistaken, I think. Um, and yeah, man, it was just rough. I made a couple mistakes at the draft. Not that necessarily I drafted people that I didn't want to draft, just like made just silly mistakes.
Box yourself in.
Um,
You box yourself into
yeah,
bad situations.
yeah, you know. And it kind of just snowballed, throughout the season. Dealt with a couple injuries, morale, changing teams, and one mistake that I can own up to now was, we never really got together before the season to even like work out some kinks or just be on the field together, right? So we were just kind of, figuring stuff out, on the field week one, then we had a switch of players before the season even started. Then what
Trade.
felt like every week we were involved in a trade or in trade discussions.
Yeah.
And it's funny where people love to say, oh man, like in real life sports, this guy's about to get traded, be a professional, and play
It
like it's
sucks.
And
It sucks.
people say that when they're looking at other, like in real life sports, but even this, stupid, fantasy real life football league, people get in their feelings, man, and it's tough to, really show up on Saturdays,
We're all
8 a.m.
competitors.
You know
Nobody
what?
wants to be a
Go hard
loser.
for a team that apparently wanted to trade me. So, it was a difficult season, definitely, one to forget.
I think
I
last
think
season was epitomized. It was one of those. It was one of those weeks where I needed desperately to play a game, and it was like a monsoon was about to fall, and you could just be you could not care. You didn't have a care in the world. You had your little umbrella sitting in a corner, and
in
you're
the
like,
tent,
"Hey guys,
yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah. It
hey."
was disappointing, man. It was disappointing, as a competitor. I obviously wasn't able to put my best foot forward, and I feel like obviously as a leader, even if I'm not a captain, obviously in the quarterback position, you're always touted as a leader. So it was disappointing, and I was definitely disappointed in myself. But that's just what happens. New season, new opportunity, to definitely silence some of the chatter. So.
I like your team. I like your team. Some
I
will
like it, man.
some will say that there's question marks. Verlin's hands. I see a good rusher and a versatile all around player. I love Mike L. It's a
Yeah.
big target, great flag football player. Then you got Petey, which is showing his value in DD. Mark, that's your caballo. And then obviously yourself. How do you feel your team stacked against everybody else? Upper echelon?
Um, I definitely think I'm in the top half. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm number one or number two. I can't give myself a number, but I definitely think I'm in the top half. Especially when you account, in my opinion, something that you do have to account for, which is, players missing weeks and the value of certain picks and whatnot.
Right.
Um, I'm sure we'll get into it now, but the draft was definitely unique this season. I'm not complaining per se. Uh, but it was just weird, right? It was just weird. Felt just like it was rushed. Um, in terms of obviously we only had 2 minutes to make a pick, and obviously I wasn't, as you know, I wasn't there at the draft.
You weren't there.
But I feel like even if I was there, it wouldn't have really
That was a
moved
weird experience too.
much.
I got carded. I got carded. It was
As
weird.
per
It was
true.
a weird experience. I get like I'm 35.
I mean, you're no spring chicken, but you definitely don't look like an 18-year-old.
Come on, my guy. Come on, man. I don't know. I guess he saw a tier four and I was like, yo, what's up? Okay. But look, one thing about DD Live is that we're a show of the people. And the biggest, the most important, the most illustrious accolade is that star. And who are we if we don't recognize our star winners? So, our very first guest onto the show is the man of the hour, the man we want to speak to, not only for his accolades in the last season, but his involvement this season. And he has a lot of questions to answer. And without further ado, our season 19 winner, Andy Hernandez. Andy, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Hey, wait, hold on. You're muted.
You're muted.
There
There
you
we
go.
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 There you
Oh,
go. Welcome to the
gentlemen,
show. Welcome to the show.
it's about time you guys invite me on the show.
No, you had to get a star.
You
Yeah,
got to
Oh,
win or
I
be
had to get a
commissioner.
star.
Yeah, man.
Got it.
you had to
Got it.
get a star to make the
Or
show.
you got to be in Nas.
Got
Or
it.
that, or that, or that, or that.
So I want to preface before we start all this. You guys have the best show, even though you didn't win last year. Uh, I gave CP that scrub all his content last year, so that trophy should have gone to me. That's number one. Number two, he's the Robert Ory of segments. Okay, living off of everybody's stories and talent. So I just wanted to say that. Now we can start.
I'm speechless. You
What an intro. What an intro.
you touched me. You touched me. You touched me. No,
I've been
did.
saving that one. I've been saving that one.
Wow. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna get a punch in. I'm just gonna say one of the seasons that we got second place was the one that had the most watched hot seat at the time. So I helped him win a hot seat too. So
I
I
mean,
think
he just lives
I,
off of everybody else's,
you know,
talent. It's just,
but
it is
hey,
what it is.
but at the end of the day, we are a two-time show-winning, star-winning host over here, and we're happy to have you now that you're on this side, the star-winning
100%.
side.
Man,
you
it
got
feels good, man. It's still surreal. Just reliving that you asked me, I just started reliving the moment again, and it's just very surreal moment
so
for
let's
us.
let's jog it back because
Mhm.
that season had a lot of layers.
Yep.
First, it started off with QB Cap, Andy, and you got
Mhm.
P. Then you kind of migrated over to Stritz after a trade. Then Andy goes into wide receiver mode, and then
Mhm.
there was just pure toxicity in trying to improve the team. Stritz gets a hand of it. Then you have collusion. Then you have the commissioners getting involved. Like, how was, and just the fact that you also had Peaky in camp and
Yep.
Peaky not having the reins, even though the football every play. So there's a lot of moving pieces there. So if you want to layer it out for us, how was that experience for season 19?
I
Because
haven't had
like
that much adversity in anything I've done probably in 8 years since I started the Rhodes Home Healthcare. That was wild. That was probably the toughest 6 weeks I've ever had. Just crazy. I mean, starting week 3 is when it started, and we had to make a move. Look, we had unfortunately the bottom part of our team. We didn't feel that could win a start, so I had to make a GM move, and Piki and I decided to make the move. It hurt because I love Donnell. Donnell's a dog, and it was tough. But when you have a piece like that, that's where the value's at, and we had to go out and make a move. And the Stritz opportunity came, and me going to tier 6, and that was a temporary thing. Piki and I talked about it. This is a 1 week thing, and then we're going to shop him. He didn't have a market, unfortunately. Not a lot of people wanted him. No one wanted him, to be honest. I thought I had a deal. He got wind of it, and then he tried to blow up the team, and he forgets that we saved them from the Saints' atrocity. And then he comes in and tries to blow up everything that we worked for. It made the team worse, honestly. And there was a bunch of collusion and all that. I don't even want to relive it because it was just a stressful situation. But we got through it, and we got on the other side of it, and we got a star.
did like so during the celebrations, like Stritz was like in one corner, like you go celebrate yourself and we celebrate, or was it like a just
Nah, we included him. He was part of it. Can't, you know.
it was
Hey,
like
if you're on the
no
team, yeah,
no effort, but you got A on the group project.
yeah. He played
Very
hard, bro.
celebrating.
It wasn't clicking offensively with him, and it was just tough. The offense was very, very stagnant, and unfortunately, I hate to see him go down, being hurt. I mean, I hate that, and I hated it for him. But it wasn't clicking, and we got the good fortune, and that's the thing about DP. Things have to go your way. You have to have a little bit of luck to win it.
And
Um,
the
yeah,
final wasn't just one sided. Like there was, I think it also epitomized your season because there was some back and forth there. Like it wasn't a slam dunk.
no,
It was a dogfight.
Yeah, it was a dogfight. All our games were a dogfight all season. I mean, there was a couple of games that we blew out teams, but for the most part, it was a dogfight. But we were a team that were resilient. We came together when we needed to come together, and we pulled it off. The championship game was awesome. I mean, that was an awesome game, one of the best games I've ever been a part of. It was sweet, and to win it that way, it was fun to say the least.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now going into season 20, you're not
Mm,
playing. You're a
no.
commissioner.
Yes, sir.
Explain to us the thought process, because I understand that there was a whole entire faction that was upset. Mainly 5 captains were very upset in terms of the power that certain parts of the captains had in terms of draft capital, because this wasn't your normal snake draft.
Sure.
What was the core of this decision making? I know that one of the things that DD prides itself is that not in terms of the rules but the setups, it changes, the formats changes.
I tell people all the time, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I tell people all the time, we're an evolving league. We're not set in stone in how we operate and how we run the league. So we're trying different things to see what works. And these quarterbacks that were left off, they were in the non-throwing list because of their defense. We try to figure out a way to bring them in as caps, but you can't give them the competitive advantage of having a snake draft, because then that just makes them. It's the advantage is too unfair in our opinion. We'll see how the season plays out. Now we got to see how it plays out. But I think we did the right thing. I stick by the decision that was made as a group, and we'll see what happens, man. But if it doesn't work and we feel that it didn't work, we'll continue to change. That's the one thing about our league. We are an evolving league, and we're trying to bring the best possible product when it comes to flag football. And I believe that we serve that purpose, every season.
I think season 19, you kind of knew immediately what kind of quality you're going to have. Like, oh, this is going to be a little
Yeah.
rough with the teams. But looking at the pudding here, Like I think we have a pretty balanced slate across, and then,
So when I was doing, funny you say that because I was telling my partners when I was doing the rankings, I think the Chiefs have the best roster, but outside of the Chiefs, maybe the Ravens have a decent roster. Jets are not bad. Eagles are okay. The Dolphins are okay with David. You always got to keep count them in. But I think the teams are pretty even, if you ask me. So we'll see how it plays out. I mean, listen, this is why we play the season, and crazy things happen in DD, and 1 week in DD's, 5 weeks of the NFL. So
any more
you never know what's going to
wrinkles?
happen.
Any more wrinkles? Any more wrenches that you're going to be throwing this way?
As of right now, I don't think so. Oh, yes, one. All plays are going to be reviewed, are going to be able to be challenged. So that's a new wrinkle
So in terms of with the recording,
with the recording,
we're
correct?
going to be with the recording, so you could be able to look at all plays, whether it's incomplete, penalty, or what.
Without as a penalty, correct. You're going to be able to
Whether
challenge.
called or uncalled.
Correct.
I like that. I
Hey,
like that. I
yeah.
like that. I like that. Not hiding behind a technicality if something was actually called. It kind of creates more confusion.
Again, it goes back to what I said a little bit ago. We are trying to bring best possible product to Done Deal.
Yeah,
we don't stay.
would have saved me from getting screamed at by Craigo and the Raiders last season if we could have done something like
It's
that.
inevitable, bro. People are going to scream at people, and that's just part of.
He said a lot of hurtful things,
Yeah, yeah. It was one of my choices on DDPA.
Okay, so I'm glad. Yeah, I feel like you have a script there, and you're leading us into the very next question.
Sure.
I want you to explain to us what was the reasoning behind selecting this DDPA. Like, were you thinking in the past DDPAs? Are you trying to, okay, I don't want this, I don't want that, so I just want why this group of
So I picked guys. So I picked guys that I've worked with before, with David and Chris D, and I know that they uphold the integrity. And I brought in guys like Craigo that really care about the league and have a lot of input and a lot of smart ideas and see things from an unbiased perspective, because I've had a lot of conversations with Craigo outside of the chat. On the chat, he's a troll, but outside of the chat, we have had some adult conversations, and I like the way he thinks. And then I brought on Joel, man. Joel's dies for DD, man. And I thought,
he's
what?
One of the good guys.
Yeah, so let's bring them on and see how it goes. But I'm confident in the guys we want. I want guys that are going to uphold the integrity of the league, going to make the right decisions, not based on bias. So that's what my selection. Listen, plenty of guys applied that I wanted to bring you back on as well. I loved working with you, but I want to give a couple other guys opportunities.
No, absolutely. But, and I love the Joel pick, because at the end of the day, you got to have guys who love the league, and that's what's going to keep the league going. As long as we
absolutely
having guys who love the league involved and continue to.
I did not want the debacle of what happened last year, and people thinking that they can have, they had power or a power struggle, right? And they think that I don't know, they're the grand marshal or whatever. That's not going to happen under my watch, and we want a very tight ship.
No gatekeepers. No gatekeepers. Okay.
No, absolutely not.
So fun season 20. Do we have any early predictions?
Man.
What's the weaker conference? What's the stronger conference?
I think the North is the stronger conference, I think, Greg. And I think the South might be weaker, even though Johan went down to the South. I think the North is, man, they got some good quarterbacks. I think Pedro's in the North. You have Johan in the North. Am I right? Let me look this up.
Yeah. You got
David,
Peaky,
Nico. Yeah, give it to me.
Peaky, Dario.
You got Peaky, that's right, Dario.
Yeah, Peaky, Dario, Nico, me, Devin, Derek, Chris Martinez, and Vinny.
Brother, that's a solid, bro. You got Chris Martinez that went to a championship. You have Peaky, right? Which Peaky's draft is very, very questionable in what he did. I feel like he had some reaches there. But he's Peaky. He's going to figure things out. He's going to win games, and you can never count him out. The one that's a very head scratcher is the Raiders. Angel, I know you're on that team, but wow, my man. Like, what happened there?
Where?
The Raiders.
Where on the Raiders? Which pick? Like,
bro, listen, I love you. I love you, and you're a great player.
I was shocked. I was shocked when I'm there, and I was like, you ready to be a Raider? And I'm like, are you for real? Like, hold on, time out. I was expecting 52. I was expecting 59. Those are the numbers that I was hearing. But then when I look at the board and I see the names that are coming up, I'm like, these are all the guys I'm used to covering and all the guys that are used to covering me. So, and I was like, I'm not scared of any of these guys.
Sure.
This is who I'm going to have to deal with. Yeah, I'm always used to being picked at the value.
But your job as a GM is to understand where you're going to go. He should have traded back and gotten more value somewhere else if he wanted.
I agree. I agree as well. Some will
Yeah. So, Pedro, what are your thoughts on the Raiders? Because I don't know, from where I'm seeing it,
well, you have
questionable.
you have Peaky, you have people like Peaky, and others have already like chimed in. Oh, that team is a whole lot better. Angel's throwing, and then Al goes to receiver because then you have Vic Pena, Al, and
But is Al going to let you go to?
no. This is Al's team. It's Al's season. Al has strictly said it, been adamant that he's going to win a star as a quarterback. I'm here to be the whatever he needs me to be the rusher, to be the middle, to be the handoff, to be the slot, to whatever he needs me to be. I'm that guy.
Bold prediction is not. It's not going to be this season. But go ahead, Pedro.
I mean, for me, I have two things to say, right? Vic Pena at 32 was a value pick.
I think he's a dog.
I think you lose some of that value by reaching for Angel at 44. So that kind of offsets each other. But I think it really just comes down to that Adrian Casas. If he turns out to be a solid piece, then him and Angel can in essence be interchangeable. Rusher kind of in the middle player. So in Peter Velez, what you're gonna get. So I think the X factor is Adrian Casas. If he shows up to be able to play that middle, play that occasional corner, then have maybe slot Angel over the rush. I think it works. But if Adrian doesn't show out, then obviously I think that team is in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
Interesting. So
I agree.
Give me what team you're most interested in seeing play, Andy. Which team you're least interested in seeing play?
The Ravens.
You want to see?
Yeah, I want to see the Ravens. I think he put a good roster together.
Adrian M, Lavaris, David G, Raymett, Alex G.
Yeah, let's see what it looks like.
And what about a team that you rather see paint dry?
Who's probably Stritz's team. I mean, I think that's the best roster, but
I think Craigle trades him. Speaking of Craigle,
you
draft the guy who's gonna trade you. He's like that was a bad one, especially when there was.
I mean, the question is gonna be
Verlin Ward, Angel Alvarez was still on the board. You could have gotten Angel Alvarez, he would have been your rusher, but you get Craigle who could be able to trade you. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm
gonna be honest. Craigle can trade you, but he's not necessarily keen on pulling the trigger. Because last season he had more than enough chances to make a trade, and he was very adamant. I was like, bro,
you guys are not thinking this straight. Stritz has no value.
That's the other component, right?
Stritz has zero value. Nobody's going to trade for Stritz, and Stritz knows this. That's why he drafted him. He knows that he can't be traded. No one's going to trade for him. So, I mean, what team can Stritz possibly go to that he's going to help? There's not a lot of horrible quarterbacks this season.
Well, at least you got Craigle, who's a good center, and he could be a good handoff.
He's great. But that team, I'm interested. Well, not interested. I don't know how good they're going to be. And I feel bad for Daleks because, he's a post guy, post corner, PCP, go route, and they're going to have a tough time getting him the ball.
There's going to be dart.
I mean,
dart up.
I wouldn't say that I'd rather watch paint dry than watch them play. I feel like I have other teams that I would probably say that for. But
that's the first one that I thought, maybe I'm a little butthurt from last season, but that's whatever.
Yeah, it's just because I feel like that roster is too good.
You're gonna see the Raiders. You're gonna see.
It's the best roster to me. It's the best roster.
No, man. Listen, I think the Raiders they're gonna be scrappy. And I was like, I think this might be a little bit of a bad comparison, but I was like a Flacco on steroids. No technique, ugly, annoying, but just makes all the plays.
He's everywhere. Yeah.
It's gonna come down to that Adrian pick. It's gonna be is Adrian a steal or is he a real tier 6?
Yeah, but I feel like there's other teams like the Vikings that is a good team on paper, but I just don't feel like it's constructed right.
That's Bolte, right?
Yeah, who's gonna play safety there? Bolte?
Jason, George E, Jose G, Javier. Yeah, who's gonna be?
It's just like the makeup of the team. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah.
because again, you don't have a safety, you don't have a quote unquote bona fide number one, and you not like you have crazy speed either, because Pote's gonna make people miss, but you don't necessarily have anyone that is like, all right, like Pote's gonna make people miss and throw the ball deep to this guy or that guy.
Sure.
So
Sure.
I just like the makeup of the team is a little weird to me, but you know, um, and then another one. I mean, in reality, I mean, I think it's the obvious one. Excluding the captain is just the Bengals.
Oh,
Beaky, he's a mastermind.
Prestige mode
Um,
there. Philip is fast. Ham is fast. Victor L's versatile. Hands fast as well for
but
his tier.
it goes back to my point with the Raiders. Like I think just the value of the picks
Yeah,
they're not
yeah,
there.
yeah, you could have just
Not
gone
there.
backwards. You could have get them later. You could have gotten every guy later.
Yeah, like
I
Let me
granted,
ask you guys a question. What do you guys think about the Redskins with Chris Martinez?
That's a very good team because look, Nick A, he's a very versatile player. I've seen him play in red zone.
That's the kid from Champions Club, right?
Yes, he's
No.
the one that played. No, they play like they have like white jerseys and like their gold letters. Like he's the
I don't know.
handoff.
I haven't been to Rezo in months.
No, he's like he's a handoff.
I don't
guy.
think he's from Champions Club. Last time I saw him play, I don't think he was in Champions Club.
That's what that was.
name's-
The white
the
I
name-
guy.
played him in the
escaping.
tournament. He
The
played
name's
with
escaping.
Chris in the tournament.
He looks like a Walmart version of Van Hernandez.
Got it.
Like with the nice hair, like the nice face.
I don't
handoff
love the
guy,
team,
versatile. Yeah, no, it's
but the
a very
value's
versatile
there.
team.
Like I feel like he got great value at every single pick. Kurt, Nick, who's his boy, Mikey fought him to 39 is a
Kurt is a dog. Mike V
pick.
is another one. Andres,
Andres at 55 is a value. Obviously, Nico Q's the boy, but he saw me today at the office, and I told him he's undraftable. So
yeah,
I guess
And
continuity.
why is that?
because you
Is it
guys
his leg or is
have
it his
too
mouth?
many.
The guy doesn't show up, bro.
They have very good quarters. They have very good quarters. They have
End
very
of
good
quarters for
and
us.
End of
The
quarters.
first
for
thing I
them.
look at is their schedule. If the schedule falls out at the end of the month or end of quarter,
Nico's,
absolute no.
Nico's already on Thursday texting me about roundup. Like, forget Saturday. Like by the time
That's
Friday
hilarious.
comes around, he's already going on round 2. Love that
That's
guy.
funny.
Not a good teammate. Not a good teammate.
Great teammate.
Well, all right, Andy. On your parting words, any last words for the episode?
No, I'm just looking forward to season 20. I'm happy that I'm being I'm the commissioner this season. We're gonna have a fun one, and I can't wait. I keep looking at these rosters, and it's pretty even, man. I mean, there's 2 teams maybe that could be graveyards that I see, but I think it's very, very even. So it's gonna be interesting. And can't wait to see the moves and all the trades that happen. But that's all I got, gentlemen. Keep doing what you guys are doing. You guys have the best show in the league. So, like I said,
Appreciate you, Kamish. Thank you, and hopefully we see you sooner rather than later.
yes, sir.
Godspeed.
All right, boys.
Well, that was interesting. We got a lot of insight there.
Yeah.
But moving from we're gonna pivot here. Something that we don't do too common, and we pivot from one guest to another. And the next person that I wanted to bring on the show, embodies what this league is about. It's the kind of characters that we want to have in it, and not going to keep them waiting much longer in the club lounge room here.
Hopefully he's awake.
Hopefully he's awake. It was a little longer than the aforementioned time slot, but the commission was giving us.
Yo, AJ.
Yo.
The man. Some people might call him Mr. PCP himself,
Dead
Mr.
leg.
Dead Leg, Mr.
What
Chihuahua
up, man?
Bark. Talk to me.
What's up, bro?
Welcome to DD Live.
You have me waiting here for a little long time,
No,
dog.
but hey, all good things must have their moment, and we can't.
AJ, this is your 3rd or 4th season of Flag.
This is my 3rd season.
Yeah, it was Fredo, Botti, and now this
I
one.
got both in this one.
So, that leads us into the very first question. It seems like you either have a record-setting season or you influence in the MVP voting.
MVP maker.
Back-to-back record-setting touchdown seasons, back-to-back crowning your QB as an MVP. Is that the value?
Is that a badge of honor?
Are you aware of this? Is this something that you know? Is this something that you carry with a badge of honor, or is this or is it like, oh wow, I didn't know this? You're gonna have that moment on the interview.
Nah, in the beginning of last season, I pull up a text from me telling somebody that I'm gonna make both the MVP, and it did happen.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have to send that in for the show for the credits of the show.
Yeah,
But
no, we're gonna have to put it like on the post credits. So talk to us. How do you feel about the Cowboys? Because one of the things, listen, we're close friends. You know, Perra will say that the only reason why you came to the show is because you're on Nas, but you have been very adamant that you feel that you're upper echelon in terms of talent in the league, and that you should be a captain, and that especially that this season the player pool was supposed to be able to have captains that were the best athletic ability, and you feel that you could go both ways and that you're in that upper echelon. So you talk that talk. Are you still unhappy that you were picked six? You think you should have gone higher?
Nah, six is fine. I'm content with six. Six is
You
good.
could say you're happy in
Nah,
Cowboy
I
land.
could take six.
You could
Nah,
take
I feel
six.
like nah, yeah, I respect everybody in front of me and shit, and the people right behind me. But I know where like I'm not like I'm new to DD, but I've been playing flag since I've been 10. So like I
yeah,
bring a veteran mindset with like a young still skill set. So like
yeah. I mean, I would say this, right? I think in a regular draft, my personal opinion is I don't care how good I am. The lower I go, the better, because that means my team is better.
no, yeah.
In this draft, the way it was set up doesn't really matter. I still think you went to a really good draft position team. I don't think the end result of that draft was what I would have probably hoped for. Um, but it's a phenomenal team on paper, and you have a good quarterback. You have an athletic quarterback that can also play defense. I think this season, not that last season didn't, maybe showcase it, or maybe the first one either. But I think you're definitely gonna have to be a little bit more of a vocal leader on this team. And I think that from obviously I've known you for what, freaking 15 years now.
Yeah.
You were legit. So I would say that's maybe like the
Why
last
did why did
element of
why
your
did you
game.
say yeah like you were upset about it? Like you was like, yeah.
No, I just say
Like
yeah,
you're
because
like you're embarrassed.
fucking
Like if Pedro
nah,
was
bro.
using like
Pega
a
took me to
like a
my
seniority card, you're like, I know you, and you're like, yeah.
bro. Me and Pega got naked miles when I was like 14
Yo,
years
yo,
old
yo,
in
what are you
Orlando,
doing? This is
bro.
a family show.
14? Naked mom, 14, chill.
Playing beer pong, bro. Nah, I
No
didn't do
diddy.
it though. We just sat under the table. We sat under the table for a round. We didn't do the naked mile. Just to
Um,
be clear.
but I would say, man, that's probably the only component of your game, the only element to your game that I would say is not that it's missing, just hasn't been showcased. Your leadership and your vocal skills. That's I think the only element of your game that's missing, and I think that's also because you're young, so it takes time to build that confidence, right? And then for people to kind of respect it and actually listen when you speak.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like on Mondays and Wednesdays, like on Nas, like this past day, like when I have my guys, like it's easier to talk and shit. But like last season, like I had like other voices in my team and shit. So like it was I mean, I still should have taken over being the tier one and shit. But nah, I mean, Steady's a defensive player, so I need to listen to that. So you feel me? But yeah, I do agree that
So hold
my
on. Now that you bring that up, let's leave Cowboys camp for a second. Let's leave Jerry's world and let's travel back in time, season 19, because it's something that we're gonna touch up on. How was it being in that camp? Because you had Steady,
That
you
10
had
was rough.
Roger. Because we talking with Andy in the Chargers camp, that had a whole different level of toxicity.
That
Then
was more behind the scenes,
Saints camp had a whole lot of toxicity
all
with
over the
Perra,
place.
like everywhere, right? And then so for the Cardinals, that was the one where we were like, hold on, they're in first place. Every like Walty's MVP, contention. AJ's, record-setting season again. How is he gonna top it? But all you heard was loud noises. So
yeah.
can you take us? Was it a circus? Like what? Like tell us what life in Cardinals camp was.
No, no, it was definitely a circus, bro. The fucking chat every day with the trading shit. People were mad because they weren't getting the ball. Shit that you can't control, like. And it's not like that I get spammed the ball. Like I just whenever I get the ball for the most part, a lot of the time I score. So like the drive is over. So like we'll go a game with somebody with no touches. So like which I understand. I mean, I understand I haven't felt it. But I guess I understand why somebody would be mad if they put in
I
money,
guess.
wake up
Hey,
early as fuck, and they don't catch the ball.
that's gonna
But
be an audio clip. That's gonna be an audio clip. It's like I've never felt it.
I've never felt not, but that ass. I mean, but yeah, but I feel like at the end of the day, if we win, we win. So,
Okay.
but I mean, that was yeah, and Rogers also loud as fuck. But I
How
mean, that's
was that?
Rogers,
Like, I get like, how was that? How was the Roger
bro.
Tomas experience?
Bro, I mean, Roger, I feel like he got louder when he wasn't playing anymore. But I mean, when he wasn't, but bro, I mean, and Boldy too. They were treating Boldy like since Boldy's new
Bro,
to DD, like we have veterans that are loud as fuck, and like the non-veterans are the upper tiers. So like it was like, all right, okay,
It was a power struggle because it was kind of like
yeah, it was
it was
crazy.
it was it
they
was
were
it was
tier
upside
six.
down.
They were tier 6 on the roster sheet, but tier 1, like with the talking and the GM.
Yeah, and like the
With
quiet
the
ones was
talking, not with the GM
like
skills.
yeah. Me and Andy were just like, wow, Jesus Christ. And Andy doesn't say a word. Andy's very quiet. So
Okay. All right. So now let's touch the sensitive subject. We're gonna peel back this wound and we're gonna just pour some salt on it. Record-setting season, number 1 seed, Bengals, Fredo, crash out of the playoffs. Record-setting season, Cardinals, other MVP, Polti, get to the playoffs, burn and crash out.
First round? No.
No, you guys lost. You guys first. No, it wasn't one.
no, I guess we
No,
had a
second
first
round.
round bye, but
Yeah, but it
I
was
think
one
we
and
did.
done. Like you got your first game,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it happened in both situations.
Damn,
yeah.
so you James Harden?
So what is it? Is it that you guys are a hot team? Is it that you're always because of the way that you play is if you don't tick, the team doesn't tick? Like walk us through. Like was it a you thing? Was it a team
I mean,
thing?
I feel like it was two different games. Like the first game we played against when I was with Fredo, I played against fucking Johan, and he had a good tier 6, and he was taking advantage of that. So like they beat us in like 5 plays. Like I didn't even get to do anything. And then this last game, A2 was covering me the whole damn time. And I guess like I was trying to, I guess the game, I don't know, both he couldn't find me, and it was tough. We didn't win, and we
That's
played against a team that we
you
should have
got
beat.
clamped by A2.
I mean, he was in front of me, but he's A2 knows damn well he ain't clamping shit. But
But in Pote's
whatever.
mind, he convinced him.
Yeah, he did.
That's a,
But no,
that's
I mean,
that's a tough one.
Poti played good too. I know that game was like a mess, especially how we were on defense. Like that's just tiring and shit like that.
So, with what you've learned in your first 2 seasons, now coming into this season, how do you feel that you're gonna like take that next step? Because I assume you're gonna play safety.
Yeah, I feel like probably defensively. I mean, also like with our team, like if we have like I can go guard a tier 1, and Peppers can also call the defense. Like if he were to leave, so like if I were to go
So
and
I
guard the other
think
person.
for me, the biggest question in Cowboys camp um, is I'm not gonna give specifics because I don't want to let any secrets out. But you guys are gonna be missing a couple key players throughout various weeks, so it's gonna be a little hard to kind of gel together and maybe get off to a good start or have a record where you're in position to potentially look at possible moves. With that being said,
You have intel. You have
you might
intel
be
there.
struggling.
You have
You
intel
might you
there.
might be
Crazy.
struggling a bit. I would imagine Dario's definitely gonna have some value as a quarterback, being that he's a pretty damn good quarterback and he's definitely mobile enough, to at least be in that middle tier of defender quarterback captains. Um, I know you've been a little bit hesitant, not necessarily hesitant, just you didn't even want to be bothered with it before. Will you actually, entertain some trades? What does that feel like? Or what do you think is gonna happen?
People are gonna come to you. You're the guy.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not much of a trader, but that's also like something that I would need to like. But that's also
Good.
like a team thing. It's not like I would make a decision on my own. But
Granted,
I
but
mean,
you're
as of
you're
right
gonna be
now,
the
like,
voice.
nah, yeah, I understand that. But as of right now, nah, I love my team. Like, I'm team first type of
Everybody
shit.
loves their team right now.
Obviously, but I also you're asking somebody, bro. I've lost like probably like a combined 5 regular season games. Like in my
Yeah,
2 seasons, like I have no I've never thought about, wow, I need to get rid of this guy. If I'm walking
Uh,
out 3-0, 2-1 every week,
yeah, but
I've
for
never
example,
thought about
week one, you're playing without Peppers.
that. All right, that's fine.
I'm not saying because again, your last player is also Angel Alvarez. So I
Yeah,
think
it's not like you
you
see,
have
like
a
that's
great
good.
roster, and you're going to have a lot of value. That's all I'm saying is you're going to have a lot of value available to you to potentially make your team
Yeah,
better.
that first week you're
Yeah,
gonna go five hard with Angel rushing, and then you'll have Izzy rushing, Angel and Robinson at the corners, AJ at safety, Dario in the middle.
yeah. Depending on who we play, I can send. If we play a slow quarterback, obviously I can send Dario straight
Dario.
to that. But and Dario's more athletic than like what he like looks like.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
Yeah, no,
for
no.
sure.
The
I
moment
like
that
your
I saw
team, man. I
the
like
moment
your
I
team.
saw AJ got drafted at 6, I knew he wasn't gonna go with me to Worlds. Like I know that now Cowboys camp is the most important thing to him. And
wait, World? No, you're talking about
well, weekend
fucking
War
Weekend
World.
Warrior.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
looking.
still in question.
See, look at him. Like he's like, that's
I mean,
great.
he knew he was going there from before the draft. Like
It's
the week
crazy.
before, he already knew.
Oh, that he was
Yeah,
gonna be a
Dario.
cowboy. You knew you were gonna be a cowboy. So Dario,
Yeah,
Yeah,
good.
Dario called me.
yeah. The only question was if I was going to take him at 3 or not. He
Gotcha.
didn't know that because I didn't need to run that by him.
Yeah. You don't gotta run that by me.
Man, you using that's like 2 times you used the friendship value friend card on AJ in the show. All right, AJ. So do you have any bold predictions? You feel like you feel confident enough to say that you're gonna
Mhm.
break your own record again this season, or you feel
Damn,
you're gonna set
What's your record?
another
I
28
think it's
touchdowns?
28.
28.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I never force it, so like, I'm not gonna say that I'm a breaker. Like if it
No, we
happens,
know you're not. We know you're not Alex Montano.
no. That's a lot. It's a lot, especially when you get to like close. It gets hard to like score. I don't know why. Like,
Yeah, everyone's harping
And,
on you.
and again, I feel like for sure tier six, you guys are gonna have the mismatch all season long.
yeah.
Um,
So is it bold to say that Angel Alvarez will win Tier 6 of the year
well, no, because
or Tier
he's a
6?
tier five. No, he's
No,
not a
no,
tier
Oh,
six.
is it?
he's not
He's
a
your
tier
That's
team
not
five.
tier
bold.
six, but he's a tier
All
five.
right. If he wins, if he can win, he's gonna win Tier 5 of the
I
season.
would say this: he should be the number one. If there's odds on that, Stritz, I will take whatever odds you have on Angel winning best tier five on paper. If Dario's gonna use that or not is another question, but right now it'll be that with that roster, Angel should win best tier five or tier four, whatever he won.
Yeah,
Tier four.
he's nice. All right.
Yeah,
All right. So
especially.
you any parting words for us, AJ? Any wisdom that you want to impart from us? Bless us with some knowledge, some feedback. Any
Mm,
thoughts for season 20? Anything thinking back on season 19, season 18, the tourneys, Didi's contribution to your flag career? Anything you want to give us before the show ends?
I really love DD. DD's fire. That shit like brought me back. That's just better than Red Zone for sure.
Goes without
And
saying. We don't talk about those people here.
facts. Fuck it. DD up, Nas up. Peace.
Hey, that's my guy.
Uh,
My guy. AJ, it's a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being patient. We appreciate everything you do on the field. We wish you luck with the Cowboys. We know you're off to amazing things this season. Hopefully, you get 29.
For sure. 29 is the number. Love you guys. Peace.
All right,
yes,
AJ.
sir.
Phenomenal. Those are back-to-back good guests. Jam-packed first show. A lot of question marks. A lot of question marks. Can't wait to see the schedule. We'll be back. Before the season starts, we'll talk about week one. We'll get more of the content going, see how the teams shape up. We'll get more knowledge on who will be out, what the games will be, what it'll shape up. We can make some predictions, bring on some more chatter, see where the league is at and where we're headed. Season 20. There's a lot to look forward to, as you heard today. We're going to be able to look at challenge all plays, even called and non-called penalties. So that's another
Yeah.
wrinkle
I
for
mean,
the league.
definitely intrigued, to see how that goes. Hopefully it doesn't. Obviously, I think we have just one challenge, bro, for per game.
Right.
So
And I think
it
you have to get it
shouldn't.
right. I think you have to get it
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. So it shouldn't slow down pace of play, all that nonsense. So I think
Yeah,
it'll
it's not
be
that
it'll
we're
be yeah.
constantly. It's just like that one egregious one that like the game is going to change because of this bad
Yeah.
or non-bad call. It's going to be good to have it in the pocket. Listen, I know that a lot of the Caps were upset about the draft rules. I would have loved to have been Stritz in this situation. I think I would have thrived. So, and that's going to be an interesting, I think we have a lot of storylines. There's a lot of teams where there's two quarterbacks on there. Is anyone going to trade? Then you have a lot of teams that have multiple players missing. Notable players are going to be gone. Jordan's going to be gone. Kevin's going to be gone. Pepper's going to be gone. I'll
Wait,
be
Kevin
gone.
Nunez is gone too?
Kevin's missing some time.
The usual.
The huge. But some plans may falter
Yeah.
through. But there's players missing left and right. A lot of NAS players might be missing week 2. So that's up in the air. So there's a lot of
I
intrigue.
mean,
storyline.
as it stands, um, besides, I guess for me, besides taking the Jets out of it, and for you taking the Raiders out of it, which I think for now works, pretty easy because I'm in the North, you're in the South. What would be your top team in each conference, or who would you say is the top team in each conference?
Um, Man, so, okay, because there's teams that jump out at me. Like I really like the Giants because I love the dynamic of that Chris D and Jordan have, just because of how much they know each other, right? And then Ryan Paz has played with Chris D before, and he's Mr. Versatile.
CP has as well. Ray
PPA
has
has as
as
well.
well.
You get
Mookie
Ray
has
has
played
and
with Chris
Mookie's.
D
You
pretty
know what
much
I'm
their
saying?
entire
So it's
life.
just like it's like damn that team, and Chris D knows how to win in DD, and he has won in DD, and he's been on the verge of winning in DD. You get me? So it's like it's either he's winning or he's knocking on the door. So you really hate to see that guy with familiarity in a league that he's familiar to winning. So that's one team that jumps out at me. Um, Chris D would be on the same side. So on the other side, um, and it's no other team really jumps out at me because I could find question marks on. I like Joan's team,
Well,
but
that's in the same conference.
same
That's the
same
Chiefs.
conference. All right,
Yeah,
so I like Devin.
the Saints.
I like Devin.
Yeah. I if again excluding myself, I,
Georgie, just look at it this way: Georgie, Pat, Ernie. I played with Marzullo because there was it I want to say season not 29 19 18 I want to say season 18
yeah, with the Saints, the original Saints.
that Hyman was on it.
Yeah,
Hyman played that season.
yeah.
And I came in one week and I played with Chris Marzullo and I didn't even know what tier he was, but the guy made catch after catch after catch after catch and pulled flags. I thought he was like a tier 2 tier 3 guy. So of how good he played in that one game that I played with him had me fooled, or do they have the rankings wrong? So I have always been big on Marzullo since then. So I would say it's a very solid team because Jeremy C as your worst player, and he's a try hard. I like that
Yeah.
team. Devin knows how to
No,
win in this league. And then just a familiar again, same for the same reasons I like Chris D's team. You got Georgie and you got Pat, and then you got a dog in Ernie who's already won a star.
no.
So just
I mean that's
how you
the
gonna line
team.
that up? Like Pat in the back, Georgie covering, Ernie rushing. That's a good team, man. It's a good
Yeah.
team.
No, besides myself, obviously I would if I had to pick somebody in my conference for right now, it would be the Saints. Pretty much for the same reasons. Familiarity, at least in the regular season. I feel like um excuse me, I feel like Devin has had his guys before and they do very well in the season, but then something always happens in the playoffs. So
Right.
at least, again, very, very early. We don't even know the week 1 schedule yet, but I would say besides myself, I would say the Saints are a team to beat up there in the North.
And
And
then look at
then
the Niners. Look at the Niners. Derek was another quarterback that had a great tournament. I love Derek. He's just versatile, could throw the whole field, smart. Then you get him a baller in Alex Montano, who's going to go hard for you both ways because the guy wants his flag pulls as much as he wants his catches and his touchdowns. Elvis, another a big time player that can make the big catches for you and shown that he could play under pressure. Then what? Juan Lazo, another tryhard.
Yeah.
Andres said, come on, try hard.
I'm not as high on that team, but I do like that
But I
team.
could see how this is a fun team to look at. And then you look at the Lions right next to him, Andy R, Joel Couto, Gerson Boo. Again, familiarity, dogs, tryhards, with a quarterback who's so versatile, which is Ant.
Yeah.
Ant.
That's that's the biggest thing there. But I think in the South, the other team, man, that I really like, and it's just because something about them they just keep popping out to me every time I look at the results. It's the Ravens. I've been very vocal about this. Adrian's a phenomenal player, in my opinion. He might not be a true one on either side of the ball, but he's just a dog.
Yeah.
But
he may not be the one, but he's gonna get one on you.
Yeah. So that's why that team is so intriguing to me. Obviously Johan's been playing very good as of late. Like I said, Adrian, just a dog. Tavares, a dog. The wild card there is David G. David Gonzalez, I think is his last name.
Yeah, what's he gonna give you?
What's he gonna give you? And obviously, nothing but the best for everybody involved. But the man just has a history of being hurt. He always gets dinged up, So if he stays healthy, I think that could be a really interesting team to watch. But that's the team that stands out to me in the South as well. Just something about him always. I look, and that's like one of the first logos that I always pick out.
All right. I think that's something on a good note that we should close out. Good little recap of the teams. So I think that's going to conclude for episode 1 for us. We'll be back before week 1. We'll come out and talk about the games. We'll talk about our picks, our bold predictions. We'll have a better idea of who's going to match up against who. Start formulating the narrative, the picture, and see what drama has ensued in the meantime. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, this is the show of the people. Done Deal Live, and we love you guys. Thank you for watching.
Sir.
We wouldn't want it any other way. DD is life, boys. See you next time.
Oh yeah! He's trying me! How you trying me? That's a touchdown.